All right, let's continue sucking and fucking off Ty West with 2022's Pearl. If you just watched my X video, you know how I feel about both these movies. Top of the year for me. And I think some of the best movies I've seen, horror movies, in the last decade. And like I said, probably will have a rewatch soon just to cement those feelings, but I don't see them changing. And this movie is unreal. Like, absolutely blew me away. After being blown away by X, to immediately throw on this and be blown away again. And just the way that they complement each other in this, the prequel, and just going back into Pearl's life and her when she was young. I don't see this as a horror movie. Like, it's really not. Like, this is not a horror film for me. There's some horrific stuff in it, yeah. There's some real disturbing shit, yes. But this is through and through a deep dive character study into Pearl, into this character. And like I said with X, that being a slasher film, yeah, I could see that, but I don't consider it one because it's so much more than that. And just the story is fucking front and center for everything. Everything else is just kind of like superfluous around it. Like the gore, the kills, and any of that. Its main focus is the story. And God, does this fucking story work for me 1,000,000%. Like, and I will get into Mia Goth's performance in this because absolutely fucking brilliant. Like, I'll get into it. So we're in 1918, and I love the opening with the old sitcom style credits and stuff. Like, just that whole opening, like, it just immediately drew me in. Just seeing the way that he shoots this movie, and just the way that it makes it feel like it's in the early 1900s. Like, both of these films, it gets to a point that when I was watching them, and this is such a hard thing for movies to do for me. At some point in both movies, even more so in this, I'd reach points that I forget I'm watching a movie. And then I forget that I'm watching an actress perform. And all I see is the character. All I see is Pearl on the screen. I don't think of Mia Goth. I'm not thinking of Ty West. I'm not thinking a movie. Like, that's how much it sucked me in. That I couldn't even look at it like a movie. Like, I felt like I was just getting to know this character inside and out. And that is such an amazing feat for a director to do. And for an actress or an actor to do. Like, think the only one that comes to mind right now is like Bryan Cranston in Breaking Bad as Walter White. There are so many times during that series and stuff that I just don't see an actor. I just see Walter White. And like, that's how I feel here with this. Is that after a little bit of watching this movie and just soaking it all in, it all just starts to feel too fucking real almost. Like the storytelling, and I keep on saying it, is so central to these two movies. And it's just so brilliantly and tightly written and just cleverly written, and just the dialogue, every fucking line of dialogue is perfect where it is, and all of that I said, I just, after a while, it would just be like, that's Pearl. Like, that's not Mia Goth. This isn't a movie. Like that's how much, and it's so hard for a movie to do that. Or like I said, an actor, a performer, anything like that, to make you completely forget that you're watching a performance. And that's how deep into this role Mia Goth got. It's amazing. It really is. And then her mom is a complete cunt. Like, straight off the bat. Like, her mom is a cunt. Like, there's a difference for me between a bitch and a cunt. A bitch is someone that just keeps whining and won't shut the fuck up, and just, you bitch, just stop. Like, a cunt is a woman like this in this movie. Someone who will just, no matter what, just will downplay you and just say the worst shit to you, and it just treats you like a fucking slave, like you're not even worth being a human being. Like, is how she treats her daughter in this, how she treats Pearl. And even in X, near like the end, like the last half hour, you start to sympathize with Pearl a little bit, which is another amazing feat that, like, in a slasher movie, or a quote unquote slasher, because, like I said, for me, it's not really that. To have you sympathizing with the killer is not an easy thing to do. Then we get this prequel and get to dive into the killer's life and her past. You feel so bad for Pearl. At least I did. Like, just of all the pain that she's gone through, and she just wants to live her dream. She just wants to be happy. She just wants to be out of this farm. She just wants to get out of there. And her mom is so overbearing, and I got a lot of Carrie vibes from this. With obviously with the overprotective, strict mother and everything. And I don't know, where was I? My thoughts are so racing all over the place with this movie. It's great. And the letter from Howard, and we get to hear Howard's letter to her, and he's away at war and everything, and she's basically there alone with her cunt of a mother and her father, who's an invalid, who's sick or something with some disease, I don't remember. But that's gotta be fucking hard, man. Like, it's just her and her mother. Her dad is just like a statue. You can put him wherever. Like, he really doesn't play a part. And like, but she still shows so much love for her father. Like, and it shows that, like, you can have someone that's alive and well and talks to you like like you're not even worth the fucking skin that you're in, like her mom does. And then you can have her father that she just has the memories of before he was sick and doesn't get to have any type of relationship with now. And she still loves her father, like, more than anything. And can't stand him up. Like, I don't know. I love the whole relationship between her and her parents and how split it was. And just so good. Like, absolutely awesome. Then when she goes to meet the projectionist, it's a great little scene. And just her saying that she wants to be a dancer, and the whole thing of her dream of being a dancer, which makes sense. It's a great little hint at that in X, when she stabs RJ, and with Blue Oyster Cult playing, and then she gets up and she starts dancing around. It makes so much sense that when you see this, that, like, all right, that makes sense. Like, she wanted to always be a dancer, and like, there's so many things in this movie that tie back to X, or things that were in X that come back into play here. And like I said in X, like, even if it's foreshadowed heavily, it doesn't matter, because it feels so organic. It feels so natural. It feels like this is where this story was supposed to go. Like, it was preordained, like it was fucking thought out, and then it was just fed into Ty West's brain, and he had to replicate it and write it down and shit. Like, it was such a great story and was so natural and organic feeling that it just came to him and he wrote it down that way. Like, it was pre-written somehow. But, like, do you get what I mean? Maybe not. Maybe I'm just fucking insane. But that's how I felt with this. Like, with both movies. They just feel everything that happens feels like it was supposed to happen that way. Even if things are so heavily foreshadowed, which doesn't happen often, but there are a few examples I mentioned in the last movie, and there's some in here. But they all feel perfectly placed. That everything feels just fucking masterful. Like, I don't know, man. These fucking two movies took me for such a ride that I wasn't ready for, especially after fucking Halloween Ends. And her dancing with the Scarecrow. Then her ending up fucking the Scarecrow and, like, just masturbating, grinding against it and stuff in the field. And it just dives so deep into this woman's mind and, like, how fucked up she is. But it makes, like I said, you feel so bad for her. Because she didn't fucking want to be a fucking killer. Like, it doesn't seem that way. She just wanted a better life for herself. She just wants to live her dream. But her whole dream of being a dancer, does she even know how to dance? I mean, like, we see her do the whole dance, like, for the tryout thing that she loses, like, near the end of the movie. But is it just all a delusion in her mind? Like, I think of like Excision from 2012 with, if anyone hasn't seen that and they feel like they might one day, just skip 30 seconds or so. But like with Adeline McCord's character with Pauline, how she wants to be a surgeon, but she has no training in medicine or surgery or anything like that. It's just a delusion that like, I'm going to be a surgeon one day. Oh, well, what do you know about surgery? Fucking nothing. Like, like that. Like, does Pearl have a talent for dancing? Or is it just a fucking huge delusion in her head that she's going to go off and become a dancer because she's so great? And it's really not like that at all. It's just all in her head, and it's just she's fucking delusional. I'm leaning towards the latter, that she's just fucking out there and delusional, and that she does not know how to dance. Like, just because even the way that scene is shot with her dance tryout and stuff, it gets like really out there. Like with background dancers and shit like that. So like it looks like it's just all in her mind. So I don't know. That's something and are there background dancers? Now I'm thinking about it. Like, this is why I always need a rewatch, like eventually. But I'm pretty sure. But like it looked like so theatrical, like her performance and stuff, that it looked like it was in her mind. So I'm leaning towards that she don't know shit about dancing except for watching it in the movies, and that's it. Like the rest is just delusions for her. That she has no idea how to dance or anything. She just wants this as just some way of just escaping her life that she's living in now, of escaping reality, of just getting out of her reality that her life sucks, that her husband is out, overseas in a war, and that her dad is practically a fucking half cadaver and can't move or do anything, and her mom's a complete bitch. Cunt, I guess. There's a difference, but I'll interchange them every now and then. Then we get the whole dance competition talk between Howard's sister, and then we get the callback to X of her saying it'll be our little secret. What a great fucking way to drop that in there. Like, is it just an Easter egg for us who saw X? And then he threw it in there? Or is that where Pearl got that expression from? And that she uses it in X? Is it because of this conversation? And it's said again near the end of this movie later on. So is that something she picked up and just an expression she uses? Or is that just an Easter egg that was thrown in there? I don't know. But either way, it's such an awesome little tie-in to the first movie. And let's see. The whole scene with Pearl and her mom when they're arguing at the dinner table. And she's saying about like that, it's not about what you want in life. It's about, making do with what you have and everything like that. Their whole argument, and with the lightning and stuff and the sound design, is perfect. That whole fucking scene is so good. Like, it's really fucking amazing. Then her just saying, like, screaming out, like, all the things, like, the whole world is going to know my name, and just, like, seeing how crazy this woman is. And then she lights her mom on fucking fire. And this cunt is fucking running around like a burning bitch cunt, and she fucking burns severely. Like, did not expect that. But, like, I can see, like I said with X, more so with this. I could see why people don't like this movie. 100%. Especially if you're going into this thinking that this is a slasher film. It is not a slasher movie. Like, at all. Like, this is not a slasher film. In any way, shape, or form. This is a deep character study into a villain from a semi-slasher film that came before it. That's how I see it. Like, if you're expecting going into this, and that's why I never watch trailers. I never spoil shit for myself. Because I put these on knowing almost absolutely fucking nothing. And I think that's the best way to go into it. Like, just not knowing what to expect. Because if you have no expectations, as people always say, you can't be disappointed. But if you don't have expectations and you walk into something that blows you away, best feeling in the world. Like, so good. And just she's fucking like burnt to a crisp. And I said that she even know the routine, yeah. And then the projection guy in Pearl's argument right before he's leaving the house because he's starting to realize how fucking crazy she is. And just the performance is there between the two of them, and her saying like what changed, and him lying through his teeth and trying to be nice and saying like no, I just gotta go and stuff, but you know he's lying, and she knows he's lying, and she gets it out of him and says like, and starts acting crazier and fucking scary near the end, and this guy's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here, like, and it just comes across as so creepy and disturbing, but like sad at the same time, that this is what she's came to, like this is what she's evolving into, or de-evolving into, whatever you want to call it, that this is the person that she's becoming, just a demented, crazy woman who just is fucking sick in the head at this point. And just him trying to leave, and just that whole exchange, like I said, of like what changed, and then him just trying to deny that, and then her just getting it out of him, and then he tries to get away and fucking gets stabbed with the pitchfork, and then stabbed in the fucking head, in the mouth with the pitchfork, and the way it's shot, and the way everything, just everything about this movie is fucking phenomenal. And I don't know how many people are going to see it the same way as me, but this is how I took these two movies. It was absolutely awesome. And we're not even at the best fucking part. Then, like I mentioned, her love for her father and everything. And then the audition again, when she goes for her dancing audition. And the X on the floor that's where she has to stand. Like that, like just that reference right there. It's so on the nose. In like any other context, it would be so like just like such a simple, easy way to throw in a reference to the prior movie. But because of the context it's in, that she's in a dance audition, and they do that. Like they put an X down. This is where you start. This is where you stand. Or like they do that with a lot of different things. So just having it there, like it doesn't feel like just a cheap reference to X. It feels like it belongs there. Like it doesn't feel cheap in any way, which I love that. And the same thing with her when they say that like you're good, but we're looking for someone like blonde and more like all American, and it's like someone with that X factor, which we heard Wayne say about Maxine a few times in X, and just him throwing that out, like that's a term that's used all the time. So just having that in there as another little reference to X, it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel too on the nose. It doesn't feel anything but natural and organic, and that it belongs there. And that's how I feel for this whole movie. Like, everything belongs where it belongs, and it all falls into place perfectly. Like, for me, absolutely. The score in this movie is fucking amazing, too. The score is unreal. Love the score in this. Love the score in X. They're so good. And then Pearl's breakdown when they deny her, and is fucking amazing performance. Like with her just screaming on stage, and them trying to tear her away from the stage and get her off the stage. She's screaming, everyone will know my name, and how delusional this woman is. Oh, she fucking portrays it so well. And then we get her scene of talking to Howard's sister, and pretending that that the sister is Howard, and we get like a 4 or 5 minute monologue from Pearl. Dude, Mia Goth deserves a fucking Academy Award for that performance, just for this monologue alone, let alone the rest of the movie and her performance in X. Just for that fucking few minute monologue, she deserves a fucking Academy Award. I'll say it right here and there. And they don't do that because fucking the Academy for so long now, they don't even look at horror movies for the most part. But again, like I said, this doesn't feel like a fucking horror movie, like a straight horror movie. So who knows? But she fucking deserves an award for this performance. Like, and if she doesn't get it, I'll be pissed. some type of award, like something to just show her and everyone else how fucking brilliant she was in this movie. Like, unbelievable. Like, that whole performance. With her saying of just afraid, she's afraid of what to say, and she's afraid of her own thoughts, and afraid to say certain things, and that it's going to disturb her and stuff. And how many people, all of us, I would expect, have had that feeling before of like, I don't want to say what I'm thinking because it's disturbing me even. And so, like, we've all felt that in some way, in one way or another. And just the way that she goes on and saying all this sick shit, and just saying that she wants to fix it all, and that she had the affair, and that she wants Howard to come home, and they can make everything better, and the sister-in-law is just sitting there and listening to all of this. And I don't know how the actress who plays her didn't forget her lines after the monologue was over. Because, like, I'll say this, the last performance in a movie that I was so blown away by, probably Ellen Burstyn in Requiem for a Dream as Sarah Goldfarb. I think that's one of the greatest performances in a movie. Always have, ever since it came out. And the fact that she lost the fucking Academy Award to Julia Roberts for whatever stupid fucking movie that was, that is a crime against humanity that can never be fucking taken back. I feel like this is the best performance I've seen from an actress since then. Was it 20 years? And yes, that is a major statement to make. And I'd have to go back and rewatch and think and stuff, but what a fucking performance. Like, I can't say enough about Mia Goth. Like, I never would have thought this of her just from seeing her in Suspiria in the remake. To go from there to doing a role like this and just fucking killing it across the board in every way imaginable. Every line in that monologue that she gives, every expression on her face, everything is perfect. Absolutely fucking perfect. Like, the type of thing that I can't take my eyes off the fucking screen. Which was the whole movie, basically. But that monologue, my eyes were glued to the fucking screen. I couldn't take them away. Like, I was like, this is something you don't see often right now that I'm watching. A performance like this. So, like, Jesus Christ, fucking Ty West, Mia Goth, praise you guys so much because, Jesus, that was fucking amazing. And then just the sister-in-law's reaction and just like saying that she didn't, when Pearl was saying that I know you won the dance competition and everything, and she said, and she lies about it too. It says that she didn't, and she ends up getting it out of her. And she's saying, yeah, I did, and then her pretending I'm happy for you and blah, blah, blah. And then she fucking starts chasing her. And then you find out why Pearl hates blondes. That's another cute little callback to X. When she kills Brittany Snow in X with the alligator. And she says to Howard, like, you know I don't like blondes. Now we know why. Because her sister-in-law won the fucking dance competition over her. And she fucking hated her for it. And killed her for it. And now she hates blondes because of it. Like, just that too. Like, you're throwing that in there. Like, we really had to know why she doesn't like blondes. Like, for any other movie, that would have just been a throw-in line of just like, you know I don't like redheads and stuff. And then just never talked about it again. Just like a throwaway line. But just the fact that he drew attention to that even and made a little note to explain that line from the last movie. Fucking great, man. Like, everything about this fucking movie. And then again with I Can Be Our Little Secret. So just I love that. All the times, as I keep saying, are so great. Then she chases her with the axe and axes her to death. Then we see some great gore, like when she's chopping her body up, her arm off and everything. Looks really, really good. And like I said, the gore, it doesn't need gore. This movie, if it had zero gore in this movie or zero kills even, I would still think this movie's phenomenal. Because like I said, it's not about any of that. It's about the fucking script. It's about the story. And it is centerfold for both of these movies. And God, do they work so fucking well. And just, yeah, when she's cutting the bodies up and the music is playing and the camera tricks that's going on, the reflective, like, I don't even know what to call it, like double-sided image and stuff of the camera of her chopping up her body. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Then she puts her mom and dad's bodies in the dining room and everything. Kind of a little bit of Psycho vibes too. Mostly just because of, keeping dead people around and stuff. Which I guess you can't even really call Psycho-esque anymore since it's been done so many times, but a little bit of a Psycho feel from that. Then Howard comes home and he sees the fucking dead corpses of Pearl's parents sitting at the dinner table. And just this fucking end to this movie. With her just staring with that demented laughter and smile on her face. And I looked up on it and said they were just going to put like a freeze frame on her face. And Ty West said, like, why don't you just try keeping a demented smile on for the 3-4 minutes of the credits? And they did. And I'm so fucking glad they did. What a disturbing, heartbreaking, fucking sick, but like emotionally draining like look that's on her face, and just having it go on for the entire credit sequence. It just gets more and more disturbing the more you watch it. It's like, this is like the one end credit that I would never skip through or shut off a movie at. Like, you reach that part in the credits roll, and it's just, again, with like at the beginning, with the old school, like the end, like coming out. Like, there's some comedy in this shit too. Like, there's some funny stuff. But just, I would never stop the movie at the credits. Like, just seeing and sitting there and watching her demented smile for minutes on end just adds to the creepiness of this character and the how emotionally fucking broken she is. And just, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words, basically, after that. This was, like I said, these two movies, back to back, the biggest treat for me for this year. The best two films of the year for me. And, like I said, probably the last 10 years, one of the best two films. Like, I'd put this in the top 10. Both of them in the top 10 in the last decade. Absolutely. And, yeah, I don't even know what to say anymore. Because it's still, even after watching these, and I've said this a few times on the channel, that any movie that can make me think about it for a while after it ends is always a plus for me. And I've been thinking about these two movies ever since I watched them the other night. Most of my day, like, I've been thinking of both of these movies. And just like playing back things in my head and trying to like put things together that I might have missed or anything like that. But just, yeah, man. If anyone who's seen these movies, which I'm hoping, like I always say, if people will watch a fucking spoiler discussion for a movie they haven't seen, but for those who have seen it and watch this, what's your feelings on these two movies? Do you fucking adore these like me? You think I'm out of my mind? Did you hate these movies? Anything, let me know, because I fucking adored both of these. And I'm so happy that I got to finally watch these two. And especially back to back like this. And I cannot wait for Maxine. And I don't know where they're going with it. And all I know is Maxine is going to be in somewhere during the 80s. That's all I know. That's all I want to fucking know. I don't want to know anything else. I'm going to go into that completely blind, as usual. And if he hits it out of the park with that, what a fucking trilogy of films. And that will be his magnum opus. Ty West, like I said, has been working towards these films his whole career, in my opinion. And he finally got there. He finally made two fucking just exquisite films that are so well written and just so well acted that it's, like I said, it starts to not feel like a performance after a while. It starts to feel like you're really there and this is a real fucking character that you're looking at, or characters. And that is such an amazing feat for a director to be able to pull out of his actors and to be able to shoot a film the way that he did, and just I don't know. I'm just gonna keep rambling and blowing this movie, so I'm just gonna end this now because I don't know what else to say. But Ty West, Mia Goth, praise the fuck out of you because what an amazing fucking duo of films. So, all right, guys, I will have another one up. I'm hoping in a little bit, but all right, wherever you're from, if you're hope you're having a good night, good day, good morning, whatever, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.